Hello everybody, my name is Ignacio and I'm going to explain how to develop a website. This is our website. We developed in 2 days, and here is in Spanish, and you can change the language here, and then it becomes in English. Well, for develop this special websites we use Foundation. Foundation is a design web framework that we use to make responsive the web page. Responsive means that the elements adapt to the screen. For example, if we have one screen of cell phone, then we will see this. The other page also. So the elements adapt to the size of the screen. For example, you can see here. Right there. Okay, well, let's start. For the first thing that we need to develop website is a text editor. We need a text editor because it becomes very easy to see the code of web page. So I used to use Sublime Text. So you search in Google Sublime Text, and then you go to Doormat. You select your version and you install. I have here Sublime Text Standard, and then I'm going to open a folder. Here I have a folder where is my web page. So in Foundation, here in tutorials, in develop HTML templates, we can see here some templates. And then, for example, we apply this, and then we download here. We enter the inputs. Select here, and then they send us to our mail the template. And you will stay tuned when the information is added. Folders. they send your one email, and then you have the template. Let me see this for here one example. Yeah, for example, this is a template, and we open with the editor. You will see now engine, for example. Let me close this. We see in Google this. It has in these styles. Let's see another one. Yeah, for example, this is the template. It's easy to develop when you have templates. Then you need to change and adapt some things. Well, these buttons doesn't work, but if we see here, well, to develop a website is needed to code the design and then the other functions. To design, for example, the styles of the elements, we need to write a code style. And here, for example, when we write dotted, we are referred to a class, and there these are attributes that we can change. For example, the color or the font size. The style goes in the header. And when we develop the design of a web page, we have some important parts of the web page. I want to show our index. First, we need this code, because this means that it's a HTML5 page. So first we write this, and here we indicate the language, English, and a class of the document, HTML. Well, let me explain this. The web page are formed by some important elements. So all the web page is inside of an HTML code, and we open the label, and then we close the label. So all the elements that we put here are going to label is I get wrong. Well, we open the label here, we close the label here. We close with label HTML. And the code is going to indicate the design. So for example, the elements need to be aligned to understand better the elements. If we our page also is in general include one part that is in the beginning of the page. It is called header. It's called header. And then we need to write here and label header and close. Now then here is content. That is the main content of the page. This can be in a label div. And finally is the header. We need to write the label header. This is for design. Also we need code functions. And this is not all. When we write the header, for example, we need to add inside the header some elements. For example, for navigation, here I'm going to put one buttons. For example, 2 buttons. Button 1 and button 2. How I'm going to do this? Well, very easy. Inside the label here, we need to add one label for a button. Then we need to close it, and inside this label we can write the text, and this button is on the left and this one is on the right, so this can be indicated in a style, but the style need to be need to know the element. So I'm going to add an ID to identify this especially button. I'm going to put button 1. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste. and the button 2, the ID button 2. You will place here the elements are going to be something like this. So, because we are not saying anything in the styles, or maybe it's going to be here. But if we want to align these buttons to its place, we need to write in the head something, one label head. There is only one label head, and also there is one label body. Well, this is between body, because it's the body of the page. So it's important to align every label with his closed. You can see here, for example, that I align this. I'm aligning all the elements to have control of everything. Now, here I get warned. Is not header, is the footer. And then I close it. I'm sorry. Well, it's easy enough to identify everything. So we know that these buttons are inside of the header. Like here, these buttons are inside of the header. The header contains the buttons, no? The header contains these buttons, and the body contains a header, the content, and a footer. The header, the content, and a footer. So let's continue. I was talking about how to write the style for this one's buttons. So inside of the element head, inside of here we need to add a label style and close it. Inside the style, if we want to refer an ID, because there is IDs and there is classes. If we want to refer to ID, we write this character and then the name of the ID. Then this one, and inside this that we want the attributes that we want to indicate. For example, in this case they are align. Then this semicolon, align left. It is possible to indicate a line right but it is going to be to the button 2. Button 2, align right. Imagine that this is inside of the heat. There you go. I have no space here. So this is here. And then the buttons are going to align to its place. Also, we can write attributes like color, and then a color, and this one too, or a background. And then it's going to work. But this is very general, and when we download a template, there is the main structure naked, so we need to change it and adapt to our necessity. So for example, here we have a label here. This label indicates the codification of the characters, in this case UTF-8. This another label indicate the width, in this case 1. There is a label in the head that is called title, and this title is going to see in the browser here. If we change this is a title, and then we save the file, we update this, and then it appears. If we delete this, we save and we update. This is a title here. This is a title. So now I'm going to explain the next. These labels link. The editor is very easy to understand, and then it's put a color to the everything in groups. For example, the labels are colored in red, and the attributes in Word in green, and the value in between this in yellow. So we can identify everything by colors. There is someone's labels that doesn't need to close like this, writing another time the word, and then we just need to write this. Here's a style label. It is indicating the elements with the class orbit image that have this width and this height. If we scroll down and we see the orbit image, and we can search the word with Control F and orbit the image. For example, this image has this class and this image too. So these images are in one container, in the container of the slide. This one is Hurricane 1, and we have a description here: Nuevo parque de diversiones Six Flags Hurricane. If we search that, you can see here. And if we change the next one, then is one description, another photo, an image. Pueblo mágico de Tepoztlán. This element is here. So all the elements with this class are going to have the width 100% of its container, in this case the body. So this image have the 100% of the body, and then we can see here, and also you have 400 pixels. If we change this to 500 or 600, save and update, it's going to be greater. Here we can change to another one slide, and then with these buttons too. Now I'm going to write like was. Well, basically here we can add these elements. These elements are between a container, and this container have the image and then have the text, and they have here a button. If we click this button, then the browser opens us a new page with this content. And here, and here. So these elements are in that way. If we see the code now, we can here an element URL as an unsorted list. It have the class orbit container, and then a li, that is an element of the list with this class. The class are defined in the framework, so we just need to add it, and then the framework apply it. We can define too, but with the framework it's very easy and you don't have problem to the responsive. So here have an element, and then we have another element, and then we have another element, and finally we have 2 elements more, 3, and then we close the unsorted list. Inside of the unsorted list are the list elements, and then a figure. This figure contains all this, the image and the text and the button and this description of the price. So here is a element A. This element indicates an link, and its reference is to hurricane.html, that is in the same folder. Hurricane, this. So if we click in the image, then we're going to open the Hurricane page, and this page have the same structure, but another one's elements, another one's things. So we have the image. This image have this class, and it has this source. The source can be found in a web page writing, and then we can change it if we search here Six Flags. Every image has a direction, image direction. For example, this, I'm going to click right, and then I'm going to copy the direction of the image. We paste here, and there is. So I write the direction of this and save, and then I update. It was the Hurricane. This I update it. It was in the slider. I'm sorry. And then we have it changed. So now that's for the image. For the links, if I click in this, I'm going to Hurricane HTML, and then here another element. Here is a map. Here is a form, a button. Well, that's how it works. Now, for example, if we want to add a video, we just have to go to YouTube, to that video, and we can copy the URL of the video or the insertion code. I'm going to copy this, and if I want to add the video here, just next to our attractions, here I find this code, here I'm going to add the code that I copy. I save it, and then we have a iframe. We have the source. We have some properties like the weight and the height. Also allow full screen. If I delete it, well, let's see if here's so. I have here the video. The video is not centered, so if I want to center of the container, I need to add one attribute, align center. Align, let's see another one. Content. No. You don't want. well, align, center, and the position. This is in a style, I remember. Style equal align, center, semicolon. I remember something like this. And then the position, relative. Align content. Yeah. Center. Frame. It doesn't want. I imagine that this for the framework. I want to search in the framework. In the documentation. Agreed. No. Plot center. Let's see this. And that it's all. So I copy this class to the element, and it's aligned to the center. If we add to the height, we play this. We change the size. Also, it's going to align. For example, to 1000. Okay, 600 is aligned to the center. So I'm going to delete this. And now I'm going to add the class to this video that is wasn't. We can add a class with an space, and then we have two classes and add one center. Flat center. We have to row column. And that is so. I have here some elements. These are container of images, and also these are one description and a title of the name of these people. This, for example, another one that you need to know about develop a website is about functions and code this one. For example, this that translate the text. We can call functions, for example, this one that, this, that change the text. Here we have a button, and when it is changed, then occurs something, and the text change to the language. That we can program here. The button is this one. It's in the header, and you have this class, and you have this text, idioma and language. So when you have the class ESP, that is Spanish, we hide the elements with the class ENG, and when the English is appeared, we need to hide the elements with the class ESP. So I have here elements with ESP class and ENG class. This one also ESP and ENG. The descriptions, all these containers that have the class ESP. We scroll down, and we have the container with the class ENG for the same Baraka and all it ones. If I just have one class, and for example this one also row S. If I scroll down here in this layer, I have here the class ENG, and then for the functions you need to write an label to download the jQuery. This script is source, and this source. We can find the source of jQuery in its page. We write in the browser jQuery. Here to download, scroll down, and here is the source. We have here, and for example, this is another one that is Foundation.js. It's for the slider. We need to write here for write the functions. We have to write all the code between this code, this character, parentheses, function, and this. So I delete this. And I write, for example, an alert. This is an alert. Save. And I update the page. And the alerts appears. This is an alert. I click and accept. And here we have the two elements. One in Spanish and another one's in English, because I didn't have code the functions, so I write this one. For example, here I'm going to change the CSS of the class of all the elements with class enc of English. So I hide of the English at the beginning, and just appear the elements with class in Spanish. Esp. And the other that doesn't have class. So then I write a variable that is called English and have the value false. So English is false. When the element with the ID idioma change, then this function is going to occur. I'm going to ask if English is false. If the English is to false, then I change the English to true. And else, if the English is true, I need to change the English to false. It's like a switch. Then, and here I indicate all the elements with the class inc. I change the CSS to display block, and all the elements with the class enc, because if it doesn't was in English, I need to translate to English, so I active this and change all I hide all the elements with the class esp with display none, and I show all the elements with the class enc with display block. And so with the if the page was in English, I need to change to Spanish, and I change this variable English to false, and then I write that all the elements with the class English are going to hide with change the property CSS display to none, and all the elements with class S, then I show it. We can also change another things. For example, if I want to change the color of the elements when those are in the other language that we don't want to watch. For example, if all the elements with the class S, when those are in English, I'm going to change to English, Spanish need to hide I'm going to change height for change the color. So I'm going to change the color to a color red. And also here, all the elements in English, when this is in Spanish, have the color red. Text color. But I want to take what is happening. Display block, and this. Yeah. It's not happening. Background. If I change this, then it happens. I was in Spanish and I want to change in English. So the elements in Spanish are now in red, and the elements in English doesn't have the property. So I want to change the color. Let me see. That was the background. Oh yeah, that's the color. So that's how it work. I want to change like it was. Display. To code web pages, you need to be creative, because sometimes there is many problems that you need to code and solve. This is a web page with many information and not many functions. Well, there is many cases when we need to code functions because we want to that the site do something, and that's how more or less works. Well, that's all by me. Thank you very much. See you next time.